grocery store for making homemade sausage. But this was really cheap. So I'm going to get this bone off. And I need a sharper knife, I know that much. When I get it cut up in chunks, I'm going to put it in a bowl, cover it up, and I'm going to put it out in the freezer for a little bit. Let it get cold, good and cold, because it'll grind up easier that way. And then we'll grind it up, and I'm going to grind it on a medium grind. I don't want it on a large grind because I don't like that texture. And then when you get your spices and stuff in it and you start kneading that meat and you mixing it, it'll work up even more. So, but I'm going to get as much of this off as I can. And then the bones I'll put into, I'll make a big pot of pinto beans one day. And I'll stick these pork bones in there with it. So I'll stick these pork bones in the freezer until then. It'll make really good beans. I like to make a big pot of pinto beans. And especially, canning them up, and then I don't like store-bought refried beans at all. I like making them homemade, so I use my canned pinto beans. And then if we're having tacos or something, I'll just get them out and I'll fry me up some refried beans. A little garlic and cumin and onion and salt and pepper in it, and put you a little bit of shortening, a couple tablespoons shortening in them beans in a iron skillet. I have to do a video on that one day. But yeah, I don't like store-bought refried beans. So anyways, I'm going to get this meat cut up and get it in the grinder. My grinder's really loud. Like I said, it's a commercial size, so it's really big and it's loud, so I'm not going to video that. But we do a lot of our own meat. We find meat on sale. We do a lot of, even our own hamburger meat. So I'm gonna leave. There's not much fat on this, but what's on there I'm gonna leave. We'll be back in just a little bit. Make sausage. Wash my hands. See you in just a minute. Good morning, everybody. It's another beautiful day on the homestead this morning. The sun's shining. It's 30-something degrees, but still it's a beautiful morning. I'm getting ready for spring. I'm so ready for it. But we have to have this different weather. We have to have all the seasons. From winter to spring to summer to fall, we have to have them all. So we just have to make the best of it. But I am getting ready for spring. Today, I went to the grocery store and I found some pork shoulders on sale. Too good to pass up. So I'm going to make some. I've got 5 pounds here. Not here, but I've got 2.5 pounds here and 2.5 pounds in another bowl. And I'm wanting to make some breakfast sausage out of this bowl, and I'm going to make Italian sausage for pizza and spaghetti and stuff like that in this next bowl. So let's get started. For the breakfast patties, like I said, I've got 2.5 pounds here. I was kind of wishing I had 6 pounds, but I didn't grind up enough. Now you can get ground up pork already ground up in the grocery store, but this was such a good buy that I just went ahead and bought the pork shoulders and ground them up myself. So in my little bowl here, I've got 2.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. Now, if you're not a big garlic person, you don't have to put that much, but we like garlic. So it's 2.5 teaspoons. I've got 2 teaspoons of dried sage. And if you don't like sage, you don't have to put it in there. I've got 3 teaspoons of dried thyme, because we do like dried thyme. And 2 teaspoons of fennel. I've got 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. And you can leave the salt out if you need to. Leave that out of your diet, that's fine. I've got a teaspoon of black pepper. And if you like your breakfast sausage just a little bit on spicy side, you can put red pepper flakes in it. But I'm not going to put any in this because my grandkids eat this breakfast sausage, so I don't want it spicy for them. So anyways, it's 2.5 pounds of pork, 2 teaspoons of garlic, 2 teaspoons of dried sage, 3 teaspoons of thyme, 2 teaspoons of dried fennel, 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and then I'll go ahead and put that in there. Then I've got 2 egg whites right here. I'll put 2 egg whites in here. Now this is optional too. I'm going to put a teaspoon of maple syrup in my breakfast sausage just to give it just that little bit of sweet taste, but when you bite into it, you know it's breakfast sausage, just a little bit. If you want to put more in that, you can. So I'm going to mix this up good. My hands are good and clean. I love making my own sausage because I can put the spices I like in it. Like I said, I don't like things too spicy. The smells, you can smell all these spices. Now, if there's any other spices that you like in your sausage, you can add it in there. It'll all be good. I promise. And there's nothing better than homemade sausage. Okay, guys. I want to just take a second just to tell y'all, whenever I make any kind of sausage, after I get it mixed up, I always fry just a little bit up and taste of it. That way, if I don't have enough of some kind of spice or something in it, I can go back and put more in it or tweak it or whatever before I package it up. And I fried just a little bit of this breakfast sausage up. And it is good. I think everything in it's good. Even the garlic that I put in it wasn't too overpowering. I think the only thing I might do is I might put just a little more maple syrup in it, because I think my grandbabies would like that. But besides that, it's pretty good. So anyways, that was just a little tip. Just make sure you fry a little bit up, taste of it. That way you don't put it up in the freezer and get it out and fry it up and you're like, I don't really like this. But okay, I'm going to get started on the Italian sausage and just get it mixed up. But first, what we're going to do is I'm going to get my breakfast sausage put up in the freezer, and I'm going to show y'all how I do that. Okay, for the breakfast patties, we're going to get them in the freezer. What I've done is on my board here, on the bottom, I put plastic wrap. And I made it, big enough I knew how wide I was going to end up rolling my meat. And I sprinkled a little bit of water on the board, that way my plastic wrap would stick to it. And then on top of the plastic wrap, I sprinkled water on top of it before I laid my meat down and rolled it out. But that's what I did. I just rolled the meat, the pork out. You don't want to roll it too thin, because you can't get it too thin. And some of it I did, but that's just however you want it. And then I took a cookie cutter and dip it in a little bit of water, or you can use a glass or whatever you have, and I just make me some circles like you're cutting biscuits is all it is. And then what I'm going to do is I'll take them and I'm going to put them on this cookie sheet that I've got lined with parchment paper, and I'm going to stick these in my freezer. And I'll check on them, and when they're frozen, I'm going to put them in my containers. That way, whenever I just want 1 or 2 or 5 or 6 sausage patties. That's all I had to do is just go in there and get out what I want. So that's how I do my breakfast patties. And I did add a little bit more maple syrup to it. And it's really good. I like it. But I'm going to get these in the freezer. And then when we come back, we're going to put together the... now, all this leftover, just like you would dough, which you roll it up and cut them again, just like you would making biscuits. It's the same procedure. And I've got me a little cookie spatula that I'm using to help me get it up off there. It's not hard. In fact, it's kind of, I don't know, I just love it. I just love doing stuff like this, and I know you do too. Plus the fact that you know what your family's eating, because you know what you put in it. And there's so much garbage in processed food. MSG and just stuff, you know, if I can't pronounce it and I have no idea what it is, I don't really want to eat it. And I know you're all the same way. But this is just part of homesteading, and it's just one of the things that we do. So, anyways, I'm going to get these in the freezer. And when we come back, we're going to make some Italian sausage. So, I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, let's get started on the Italian sausage, which I use in like my meat sauce or pizza, just things like that. It's really good. So what I've got in here in this bowl is I've got 2 pounds of ground pork that I ground up. And in this bowl cup, I've got 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of black pepper. I've got 2.5 teaspoons of parsley, dried parsley, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder. I've got 2 teaspoons of basil, 1 1/4 teaspoons of paprika. I've got a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and if you want to put more in that, that's fine, if you like it spicy. I've got a teaspoon of fennel. I've got 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. Now you can put more than that, and it'll be what it'll be is it's going to be a mild, sweet Italian sausage, and that's what I like. I put 1 teaspoon, but I think I put 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. Yeah, I put 1 tablespoon of brown sugar because I like a sweet Italian sausage. And then I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. And that's it. So that's what's all in this cup. And I just mixed it up and I'm pouring here. And then the other ingredient is 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. And I'm going to mix that up really good. Now, you know, that's the good thing about making your own sausage. Like I said, you can just make it how you like it. Some people like stuff really spicy. I just can't. My husband and I, Mr. Brown, we just can't hardly handle it anymore in our old age. We just, anything too spicy. Now, we like a little bit of heat, just not so much that every bite you're like smoke coming out your ears. I don't like that. And I can smell all this. It smells good. And if I can smell it, I know I've usually got enough in there. That red wine vinegar is going to give it that little added touch, and it's going to give it moisture. Now, on my breakfast sausage, you've seen that I added 2 egg whites. And that's to help combine it and to moisten it. If it bothers you to put, you know, raw egg whites in there, then don't put it in there. Put you a little bit of water or something. But I've done it, and it's never, nothing's ever, you know, made us sick or anything because you cook it. And like I said, I put it right out straight in the freezer, so it'll be okay. If you don't like the idea, just don't do it. But anyways, I'm going to keep mixing this. You can see, now when I ground this up, I ground it pretty fine. And the pork that I bought, that pork shoulder, it didn't have an excessive amount of fat on it. But I'm trying to cut some of the fat out of Mr. Brown's diet. I didn't tell him that. And then some of the salt I'm kind of cutting back on. So I love him and I want him to be around for a long time. So I just do these things. I may not tell him I've done it, but he'll know now. Okay. I just hate plastic wrap. And this is really good stuff. I got it on Amazon. And you ever wrap something up in it, it takes a pair of scissors to get anything out of it, but still drives me crazy. Okay, the way that I'm going to package this Italian sausage up, I'm not even going to weigh it. I just know about how much it takes for my sausage or pizza. And with me, it's just me and Mr. Brown during the week, so my kids are all grown and I've got grandbabies, so just me and him. I'm just going to make me a log, just like that, because I can stack them in the freezer that way and it don't take up much room. Or you can do it flat, don't matter. And I'm just going to roll it and make a log. And that's the way I'll do that. Just like that. And I'll put them in the freezer. And I'll have Italian sausage for pizza or spaghetti sauce, meatballs, you name it. Anyways, it'll be good, I promise. Hi guys. Well, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I'm out here on the porch, and it's such a pretty day today. In fact, I think it's going to warm up to maybe close to 60 degrees, I think. But I think I'm going to get out and work in the garden a little bit. But I'm so glad you stayed with me and watched this video. And if you have a good sausage recipe, let me know, because I'll try it. But it's just part of homesteading when you do these things. So anyways, I hope y'all have a good day. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next time. God bless.